What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Play The Evil Within with me, Jerupidus. And we have just landed in this water, escaping the clutches of the monsters that were chasing us. And with that, we're going to begin Chapter 3, Claws of the Horde. And if the name of the chapter is any indication, we are not out of danger yet. So why don't we kick things off? Now, I do want to come over here. There's going to be a little bit of green gel. And this chapter, I really like it. I feel like it's a very natural progression from the previous chapters to kind of cranking things up a little bit. However, I feel like this chapter is the start of basically everything Shinji Mikami said this game would not be. And I did that there just to prove that the Ravens work sort of the same as in Resident Evil 4. Now, this is our first grenade. I'll talk about those in just a sec. But if you do manage to kill them, they sometimes have drops for you, which is kind of cool. Now, grenades, I end up not really using much later in the game because you only have 4 slots where you can sort of put a shortcut to a gun. And the grenades have a long wind-up animation. They don't detonate right away, so you end up oftentimes throwing them a little too far, not throwing them far enough.
Shit.
And they don't really do what you want. That being said, we don't have more than 4 guns right now, so we're going to put them on and try to use them a little bit. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate real quick. This area will not allow you to progress straight forward right away. Those things will close on you, so you've got to explore these side houses first, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And this is the axe. It works just like the torch. I think this is the first time we've seen the axe. Maybe not. But it is also a one-time use, one-hit kill, so it is very handy. I like the axe, and I really like the melee animation. It just feels a lot more satisfying than the punch animation. And over here, we're going to find our first bomb. These are a little mini-game. You've got to stop the dial in the blue area. And there's a little bit of risk-reward going on here, where if you mess up, it explodes in your face and costs you a bunch of health, but if you succeed, it gives you 2 trap parts. And they start off pretty easy. But later in the game, the blue area narrows quite a bit, and they end up getting close to not being worth it, but I will tell you this. I absolutely cannot resist trying. So a few of those will probably blow up in my face before this playthrough is over. That is a near certainty. Now, did I check outside well enough? It's kind of flapping my lips here. Yeah, I think so. Okay. And I like to do things like smash out those windows when I know that the arena is not going to kick off yet, because it is good to have escape vectors pretty much all around you. And having to take the time when you're being chased to break out a window can lead to you getting grabbed, which sucks. You do not want to get grabbed. And we are full up on healing items, so I guess I may as well use one and pick that up. Get ourselves to full health. That will not last. It never does. Right over there on the wall, we can see a bomb, but I think there's one right behind us. Yep. Let's disarm them all and get our tasty trap parts. Now, you can use those bombs to do things like shoot them when there's an enemy near them, or you can just sneak past them. You don't have to disarm them, but I feel like I have to. Now, from the music, we can tell that there's a safe room nearby. That's going to be right here. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything in this room. Yep, little crate over here. Definitely don't want to put my axe down. Now, why don't we check out in there?
She's gone.
Because in here is going to be our map fragment. And there's only one of these in the village, but there are going to be 4 locker keys. But we're going to find those all for sure. But let's grab this personal document right now. Journal of Sebastian Castellanos, December 2004. First day as a detective. My new partner, Myra Hansen, is a real firecracker. Tenacious and no nonsense, my kind of woman. But I've got to watch it around her. She almost caught me checking out her ass today. Believe me, you don't want to be checking out people's asses at work. Don't do that. Now, we're not going to go in the safe haven just yet, because I want to wait until I've finished looting this area in order to make sure that I've got all my green gel that I could potentially find here with me when I head in there a little bit later. Now, in order to get started, we've got to go talk to the doctor.
Over here. Oh, God. No.
Who's there?
No, don't shoot. I'm not one of them. I'm a doctor. Marcelo Jimenez.
You were in the ambulance before it crashed, right?
Yes, we're lucky to be alive.
Have you seen anyone else?
My patient Leslie. I saw him running up ahead, but...
But?
Come this way. Quietly, mind you.
And I love that. You were in the ambulance when it crashed, and he's like, yes, I was, but I won't bore you with the details of my daring escape. Why can I not pick that up? There we go. Weird. I would love to blame some of the weirdness that's going to happen through this playthrough on the PC port, but the fact is that this game acted a little weird on its original release too. So it wouldn't really be fair to say the port is at fault here, although there are a couple of new problems with the game with the port. But that is kind of typical, I find, of taking an older game that was originally meant to only be 30 FPS and bumping it up to 60. Some weird things are going to happen. You're going to have your clipping issues, things like that. But overall, on my practice playthrough, I found this port to be pretty strong. It checks all the boxes for me. You can run it at a higher FPS. It's pretty stable. I only ran into 1 or 2 new things that didn't happen to me on the Xbox 360 version, which is what I originally played this game on. But I think we've done a pretty good job of looting, so let's kick this thing off.
Have a look for yourself. Those things chased me all the way into the village.
Me too. They're all over the place.
Leslie went through that gate. Good Lord.
There are too many to shoot our way through.
One of us could try to lure them away while the other gets the gate open. You're the one with the gun.
If you say so.
Yep, that is going to be a job for me. Now, I did notice, I think I missed some boxes over here, so let's go grab those quick. Where was that?
There is a crank on the terrace.
Out here.
You need to operate it and have to pass them.
And nothing's in it. Great. Now, he just told us there's a crank on the terrace that we need to operate to get those spikes that were preventing our progress earlier out of the way. So let's go ahead and do that.
Over here! Here! Hey! Over here! That's right, this way!
That old guy's gonna get himself killed.
And now it may look like he's getting them to chase him away. But one thing I want to point out immediately that we can see from here is that guy right up there on the tip of my axe is holding a rifle. And that is the worst. And I do believe over here, we're going to get two that are instantly aggroed on me. You can't hide from them. But that one's got a torch, and I'm going to want that. And the one behind him... Oh. My melee animation was too long. So what I was going to say is that one behind him is a shotgun. And between the guy with the shotgun and the guy with the rifle, I think that having the enemies in the game use actual guns, and you'll see they basically end up with every gun in your arsenal and even some ones that you don't get. I don't think that that's scary. I think it's kind of silly and mostly just frustrating. Now, as compared to Resident Evil 4, there are gun-wielding enemies in there, but for the most part, your regular enemies, they just have things like dynamite and axes and stuff like that. And their main threat is just going around trying to grab you, pretty much. That feels terrifying to me. Enemies with rifles and shotguns are not scary, they're just hard to deal with, if that makes sense. That is one of my main criticisms of some of the enemy design in this game. Now, I believe there's going to be a few more over on this side that I want to take care of. Yep, there's the cop lady. And a guy with a big axe. Oh, a third. I don't think he's dead. Nope. That's what I mean. It gave me the get on all fours animation, which is never good. You can't burn them, you can't sneak kill them, it's just the worst. Fortunately, he dropped me some bullets because I wasted a few bullets there. So we're doing just fine on that. And that should be all the enemies on this side of the arena before we continue forward. This guy is such a headache. Okay. We're gonna head up this way first, I think. And this is gonna be the barn area. And there are a ton of drops in here, so you're gonna have to bear with me while I grab them all. But since we're on this side of it, we may as well go up to the third floor. That's going to be our first key that we're going to find. Among a bunch of other goodies. There's my goddess statue. Let's punch it in the face. And some green gel. Definitely don't want to forget that. And we have a pretty good amount of green gel right now. So we are definitely going to want to visit the safe room fairly soon and do some upgrades, but not quite yet. That's going to be a little bit of a shortcut back to where we were earlier, but we don't want to go that way just yet. We want to finish looting in here. I maybe should have upgraded my match count before coming in here, but it's gonna be fine. Having too many matches is a good problem to have. but I also hate leaving drops behind. That just feels bad. Now, that sound I'm sure you've been hearing this whole time is the Sadist. He is chained up in there, but he's not going to bother us until we bother him, so that is another way that you get to kind of control how this arena is going to play out. The main thing we need to deal with is that rifle guy, which we are going to in a little bit here.
Shit, better find cover.
So we need to make sure we're not standing out in the open here, basically ever. All right, just making sure I'm not getting chased by anybody. This guy's gonna get up, so how do I want to deal with that? That face he made! He almost killed me. So we're going to go ahead and stand still and let our health bar recover a little bit, and then we'll use a healing item. I've been taking a little bit more damage than I would like, but it's really not a big deal. All right, that's all we're going to get in there. Ooh, handgun bullets, though. That is nice. All right, now we want to climb up this tower. Oh my god, I stepped in a bear trap. Come on. Well, let's disarm this one. And then I don't want to die from a rifle bullet from that guy. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use another healing item. Make sure that doesn't happen. All right, so that one found me. So let's get to some steady footing. And one bullet and one match, and he is dealt with. Now, what just happened a moment ago is a guy came flying off the top of this tower. But we're going to want to go check out the top of that for sure. And one of the nice things about this game is whenever they hit you with a little bit of a jump scare like that, they always give you some green gel as like, sorry for kind of getting you. And on our way up, we're going to see that goddess statue. And there's going to be a few other cool pickups up top here, but that's the one I'm the most interested in. And that's going to be our second locker key, leaving us 2 more. So these are the flash bolts for our Agony Crossbow. Warhead for the Agony Crossbow, which can blind opponents with a powerful flash. Blinded opponents can be killed from any direction with a sneak kill. And that makes the flash bolts very, very powerful. You do need to upgrade them a little bit so that you can get more than one sneak kill off of them, but they are quite strong. They have a great AoE. They just stun everything around. And then you can get off a few free sneak kills for one flash bolt, which is really good. And there is no fall damage in this game. You can drop down from a ladder from an amazing height. All right, now I've got to remember how to deal with Mr. Rifle over here. Because what I would like to do is get around behind him. Now let me think. I suppose we'll just take on this house in front of us first. Now, I do think I'm capable of sneak killing one of the spawns in here. Yeah, that guy. So if we can, let's try to do that and not spend any more resources. Just wondering which way he's going to patrol. Sneaky, sneaky. All right. And here is finally our agony crossbow. Oh, yes. This gun actually feels good, unlike basically every other gun in the game. This collapsible crossbow has a strong bowstring, which appears capable of launching heavy projectiles. Yes, it can. And so this is going to teach us about some of the bolts. An explosive warhead for the agony crossbow, which will detonate when enemies approach. It can be placed on things like floors and walls, and even enemies. That's true. And the thing about the explosive bolt is the fact that it can stick to enemies is one of its most dangerous features, because if one is running towards you and you happen to stick one on it, it can run right up to you and blow you up with your own explosive bolt, which is both hilarious and embarrassing. But we're going to go right ahead and assign the crossbow a hotkey. Now, this is going to teach us that we get to create crossbow bolts out of trap parts. Which is just fantastic. You end up with lots of trap parts, and it's just great. And over here, we're going to find another kind of bolt. This is going to be just the ordinary bolt. The harpoon bolt. Powerful harpoon for the agony crossbow, which will impale opponents. And it doesn't seem that exciting. It doesn't have really any AoE properties, but what it does do is a fat amount of damage. Especially once you upgrade it a little bit. Ah, there she is. Now, are you just going to face the wall the whole time, or are you going to turn around as soon as I go to sneak up on you? Let's find out. Wonderful. And what do we have here? That's right, yet another gun. So this is the shotgun, and I have a ton of complaints about this weapon. I don't want to harp on the negatives of this game too much, but this pump-action shotgun has a short barrel and a wide choke, sending pellets over a short but wide area. So it is exactly what it sounds like, you know, a shotgun. But I once read someone say that games can be judged by how their shotguns feel, and the shotgun in this game does not feel good. It just doesn't. It doesn't do what you want it to do. You really end up using it more like a souped-up pistol, where you just use it to knock things down, but even the knockdown feels bad. It just feels wimpy. And it's a very frustrating aspect of this game, in my opinion. By contrast, the shotgun in Resident Evil 4, it's a joy to use. It's so much fun. Even heavier enemies, it just sends them absolutely flying. It's awesome. I feel like I'm hearing something in here. Ah, it's the doctor.
How did you get it open so quickly?
You're welcome to give it a try.
Please, time is of the essence. It is imperative we find Leslie before anything should happen to him.
Yeah, hurry up, he tells us. I'll get right on that, Doc. So this is the medical kit. A large syringe in this medical kit provides major health restoration, but with temporary side effects. There are a limited number of them, but they also increase health a little with each use. So that's going to be a full heal that permanently increases our health bar, but it is not used to turn the tide of battle. If you use it in battle, you end up with a very long stun animation, and you will die. Alright, so we got one down there, and that, I think, is where I want to go to deal with Mr. Rifle over here. Unfortunately, there is someone blocking my way through, but we'll deal with that in a minute. And I just want to make sure I'm done exploring this place. Oh, and I suppose I should show this, because why not? Let's break these windows out so we can kind of get a better view of what we're looking at. You can do things like lure enemies here, pull this switch, and use the traps on them. However, when an enemy's running, that is much longer to start up than it looks like. I find the traps very difficult to use and riskier than they're worth. Okay. So straight across there is the guy that I want to deal with so that I can get around past him and then deal with the rifle guy up top. Now, if I'm quick, I can probably grab that torch, use the torch to deal with him. I think that's going to be the plan, so let's do it. And I managed to aggro him. Perfect. Come on over here where I can't get shot. That's an interesting piece of pathing he just did. All right, and now we can make a run for that little stone opening he was guarding. Now I think we're kind of back to sneaking, so let's try to stealth this area just a bit. Oh, I guess I could have come here through the barn, huh? Man, even after playing this game quite a bit, I'm always finding new little things that could be ways to attack a level differently. The level design is pretty on point as far as the stealth aspect is concerned. There are a couple downed guys over here. That looks like one that wants to get up for sure. There we go. Fall down, please. And the other one's up. Okay. There, that leg shot did it. The, mechanics of knockdowns just sometimes feel very frustrating, where they just don't do what you want. Where sometimes you shoot them in the leg and they fall right down, sometimes you don't. And I don't know if that's by design, but they definitely make you really feel like the even basic enemies are very tenacious and very dangerous, and very just hard to deal with confidently. So this is our introduction to the chests. You hold A to open them, and if it's trapped, you want to let it close. Like that. And now we get a bunch of free stuff. And I do have a couple free shotgun shells, so I may as well spend some of these at some point. But that's good to know. Now, I do believe I can head up these stairs, but I'm going to maybe want my shotgun out. I guess I may as well use it, and I'll just demonstrate what I'm talking about when it comes to this thing just not feeling great. However, before we continue, there is going to be a goddess statue right here that I am going to want to get. Let's go ahead and get our shotgun out and deal with whoever we just aggroed. I know I heard somebody. No? Okay. What was... Ah. He's gonna come running down the steps. Wonder if I can try to get him with this trap. Nope. That's what I mean about trying to use the trap. Now I feel like he's not dead. Oh, but I can't melee right in front of me. There we go. Now, did that other one just take off? I think it did. I wonder if I can sneak up on it. We're gonna leave that for now because we're making good progress toward what my main goal is, and that is to take out Rifle Guy. But this is what I'm talking about when I say I really like this chapter. I feel like it balances loud parts and quiet parts really nicely. Where you kind of feel like you're in the middle of a lot of action, and then you come up to a spot like this, and it just all of a sudden feels very quiet and alone. I hope she breaks this window for me. There we go. Oh my god, Rifle Guy is down here. See, that right there is what I'm talking about. Where you shoot them point blank and it just kind of knocks them down, same as a pistol shot to the leg. It's so frustrating. It just feels bad. Alright, where did Rifle Guy go? This is not going how it usually does for me, so things are a little weird. Let's take a look at this. He's watching. We can't leave. No, you cannot. All right. I'm really looking forward to taking out this Rifle Guy. It's just such a huge weight off my mind when you finally do it. Does he see me? All right. Oh, that feels so much better. Now, there's going to be another goddess statue right over here. So let's go pick that up, and then that should be basically every enemy in the area. I think I saw one back towards the beginning. We'll probably go kill them just for fun.
Great. There's gotta be something that'll get through this. Maybe a chainsaw or something.
Yes, maybe a chainsaw or something. Who wouldn't think of that to cut through a chain? But we will need a chainsaw. And who do we know that might have a chainsaw? Well, that would be the Sadist. So we're going to have to go get the chainsaw, and I don't think he's going to let us borrow it. But I do believe we've done a pretty good job of looting. One place I want to swing back to is around back here to grab those extra shotgun shells. Make sure we're good to go on that. We are a little light on handgun ammunition, but 5 bullets is plenty. 5 bullets and 5 matches is technically 5 dead enemies if you can aim, which is a big if when you're playing on controller. Yeah, I knew there was one Oh, there's a couple. All right, well, let's use the shotgun then. Actually, let's grenade it. And you see how the grenade didn't affect that one there, and also he didn't even notice anything happening? Like, that's why I hate the grenades. I guess I don't hate them, but I really end up just not using them very much. I gotta get to this guy before he turns around, I wonder. Okay. And I think there was one more lingering over this way. I feel like I hear one, but... Either way, now that we've finished all the enemies, basically looted the entire area, now let's hit the save room.
My head.
Because I have 6 locker keys.
You should find this useful.
And a whole bunch of green gel, and I want to use that. But first, let's pick up the newspaper from the newsstand. Serial killings continue. Police baffled by cause of death. How can there be zero trace of the killer? More bodies found near Elk River community. Residents feel trapped in their homes. And believe me, I would feel the same way. If things like that were going on in my neighborhood, I would never leave the house.
This way, please.
I mean, I already never leave the house, but you get it. Missing person Oscar Connolly. KCPD officer disappeared while on patrol. Patrol car found abandoned on the outskirts of town. And that was the guy that was with us at the beginning of the game, the ambulance driver. And so it's very interesting that we're finding these missing person posters for people that we've met. And now she's finally going to let us around back. And that's where we're going to find our lockers.
Where are you taking me? You don't talk much.
She's a little terse, I would say.
Detective Castellanos, do you have a key like this?
I have a whole bunch of them, in fact.
That key will allow you to open this door.
And by this door, she means every single one of these. Top to bottom. And I think I'm going to just start over here, and we'll just kind of go by row.
The contents are yours. Please, come back whenever you need to.
So let's open the first one. Bunch of shotgun shells. Did that say 12 of them? Wow. And what about you? Green gel. I think that's going to be 5 grand. Awesome. We have 16,000. And I'm going to want to use that. And let's keep going. Another 5,000. I love it. $20 handgun bullets. If I could pick them up. There we go. Oh, I didn't mean to do that one. Oh, no. 8 more shotgun shells. So we are basically never going to run out of shotgun shells. Another green gel. I will take it. And that's all the doors we can open for now, but we have an incredible number of bullets. And so that's the thing, is that if you're really thorough about finding the locker keys, you will basically never be hurting for bullets. Or really any resource for that matter. And over here is going to be our map. The map is as fragmented as the city itself. Maybe some good will come of restoring it. Maybe some good will come of it indeed. But the reason I want to find all the map fragments is because I think it would be really frustrating to get to the end of the game and have one of these missing. That would just really bother me, so we're going to definitely find them all. And open all the locker doors. And although opening all of the locker doors is going to ruin some of the challenge a little bit, it's still going to be fun. At the end of the day, I want this playthrough to be fun. So let's hit the green gel chair and spend some serious green gel. We have so much. Alright, I am going to want a little bit more sprint, because despite the fact that the amount of sprint you have right now is enough, even when the game has lost some of its scariness, like it has for me, having played it a bunch, you still sometimes end up not paying attention and holding down the sprint button for too long, so a full another second sounds good to me. And I want to upgrade my Agony crossbow as much as possible immediately, because it is my favorite weapon. It is the most reliable gun in the game. It is just awesome, and so we are going to finish upgrading it right now if we can afford it. All right, that leaves us with doing some stock. I feel like we should finish up matches. Or at least get it close. And now we have a bunch of bullets laying around that we can't quite take with us, but I think I want to increase the number of agony bolts I can carry. Because we're going to go absolutely ham with those just because they're so strong. I think it's literally the best thing to be doing with your in-game currency. And let's make sure we're all loaded up. And what I'm going to do is make a bunch of flash bolts. And we have 36 trap parts, so we can make as many as we want. That should be sufficient. And let's get to it. I think it's boss fight time. Now, there are any number of strategies you can employ to deal with the Sadist, but this one is my favorite. And we'll see that just as soon as I kick this thing off. Ooh, that extra second of sprint already feels pretty good. All right, it's not really working, so how about this? What is happening right now? There we go. And now he's going to get to break out. Right? Why is this doing this? This is so weird. There we go. And so we're just going to use a flash bolt, and then we're going to stab him in the gut. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't quite kill him. So we're going to have to do it a bunch of times in a row. And that should do it. Oh, maybe not quite. Let's hit him with a harpoon. There he goes. And the Sadist is down. And we pick up his chainsaw. The teeth of this old, well-worn chainsaw are caked with all sorts of things.
I better hold on to this.
I mean, how many things could it realistically be? Like, it's just blood, right? And now I remember seeing a chest where he was holed up. And what do I get? A few more bullets that I don't really need. Well, maybe that's not quite true. At least I can hold them. And I've got 7 matches. I could go back and get the matches that are upstairs, but like, we're gonna be just fine without them. And actually, this is the way I want to be going. Let's cut through this chain using a chainsaw or something.
Wait! Over here! Wait, officer. You must take me with you.
Detective Castellanos.
Leslie should be just ahead. It is imperative that we find him.
And that's going to be the end of Chapter 3. I thought that was a pretty sweet boss fight. And I just really love that chapter. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.